Hi, it's John here from GPS Training. Welcome to the latest walk and talk. Today we're out with the Garmin GPSMAP H1i Plus and we're out doing the Wannie Line Walk. So before we do anything, a few moments ago I downloaded a GPX file from the internet. I'm going to show you how I downloaded that and got that onto the Garmin GPSMAP H1i Plus. So before we go for our walk, we could go online and look for GPX file, which is when somebody else has planned the route for us. So I'm just going to Google. I'm going to look for GPX Wannie Line. You get various options in the search results. The top one is GPS routes, which looks like a good option. I'm just going to click on it. It takes us to their website. Really nice website. We've got a video of the walk we can look through. We've got some nice pictures of where we're going to go, and down at the bottom there's even a nice advert for GPS Training. That's a quality company, isn't it? And what we're looking for is a GPX file, which is there. Just click on it. It does bring up an ad on this website. We just close down the ad and then it downloads it to the GPX, to the download section, in my case on my Mac. Then I'm just going to bring up Garmin Basecamp, which is Garmin's free route planning software. You can see I've got my GPS already plugged in, and you can see it's plugged in. And then on my computer, on Garmin Basecamp, you have what's called folders and lists. So I've created a folder called Walk and Talk. My list is called Wannie Line. I'm just going to go File, import it into Wannie Line there. And there's the GPX I've just downloaded. I import that into it, and there it is there, imported into Garmin Basecamp. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly rename it, just because it's not very good. So we'll call it Walk and Talk Wannie Line. And then I can just right click, send to device, send it to my Garmin GPSMAP H1, transfer complete. It's all set to go. Just close that down. If you want to make sure it's there, just click on the GPS unit, and there it is actually on my GPS unit, Walk and Talk and Wannie Line. So it's onto my GPS unit. We're all ready to go. So now we've got the route, or now it's a course. Now it's on the GPS unit. On it, we need to just calibrate our compass. We need to load that into the Garmin GPS H1i Plus, and we need to follow that course. So let's get on our way. So on the H1, it's really easy to start any activity. So we literally press the start activity at the bottom, and we get two options. We get to start recording our activity, which is just starting to record that track, which is the breadcrumb trail our GPS leaves behind us. Then what we also can do is says navigating, not navigating. Click on navigation, click on the saved courses, click on courses, and we can see the course that we're going to be walking today, 6 miles. We just tap on it, overlays it on the map, we just press navigate and then go. And then now we're navigating. You'll see then when we go back to the main menu that we've now overlaid on the map the course that we're navigating. And also, if we go back to this, we now get a compass rose with a direction arrow, and that's the direction we should be walking. So as we always do with all the walk and talks, what do? We just follow that arrow. We started the walk at a place called Scott's Gap, and then we're actually coming out on what's called the Rothbury Branch Line, and then we're going to come back on what's called the Wannie Line. These are two disused railway lines. The Rothbury Branch Line is a 13-mile spur that went out to Rothbury. It was actually supposed to continue on to Wooler and then finally onto the Scottish borders, but they ran out of money. Key thing here, came out, I think it was 1850s and closed in the 1960s, it did. So again, it was a main line into Rothbury. A lot of livestock, a lot of tourism went out through this. Wannie Line starts off at Morpeth and came to Scott's Gap, and again Scott's Gap is where you jumped onto the Rothbury Branch Line, and that's where we're heading out on today. So where does the Garmin H1i Plus sit in Garmin's stable of outdoor GPS units? It's their premium top end 4-season GPS units, 3.5-inch screen with both the button and touchscreen. So in summer, or nice days like today when you've not got gloves on, use the touchscreen, makes it very, very easy to use. And then in winter, when you've got your heavy gloves on, you can change with the settings, switch off the touchscreen and just use the buttons to get the best of both worlds. 3.5-inch screen, so again, slightly larger than we've seen on previous models like the 67, 66SR, 66S. So it's a really nice GPS unit. 145 hours of battery life. Slightly less than we saw on the 67, which is 170, 180. But again, because it's powering that slightly larger screen, that's the reason why we've got that slightly poorer battery life. But the I means it has two-way satellite communication, has Garmin's inReach technology, and the red bit on the top tells us that it has the ability to both send messages, voice messages, text messages, and also photos as well. So you can take a photo, you can send that via the satellite if you wish to. You can send voice memos via the satellites. It's best of both worlds. But there is a downside of that, is the technology or the chipset to enable that use up a little bit more battery life. So if you are using live tracking on this, which means that it sends a track point every 10 minutes so people can see where you are, it does bring the battery life down to 48 hours. So that's one of the downsides of it, really. It brings the battery down to 48 hours due to that live tracking, which is 10 minutes. It's something we've not seen before on any other GPS unit or inReach technology. But this is because, again, it's got a slightly better chipset to enable it to send and receive these pictures and voice memos as well as text messages. So that's the only downside on it. If you are going to use a two-way satellite communicator, or the live tracking rather, it does bring that battery life down. But you can use it without it, so that's not a problem. And then if you're just using it just to send the odd message, or using it to, well, and also to navigate with as we are today, that 145 hours battery life is unbelievable, really, isn't it? So really nice USB-C charger. You see it connects to both PC and Macs. Again, it also works alongside the Connect app. So if you don't have a mobile, so if you don't have a PC or a Mac, you can use your mobile phone or your tablet to transfer data over to it. So really nice days walking out on the Wannie Line. We've got some cattle just behind us who have just joined us out with this cracking GPS unit. Yeah, let's get a few more miles under our belt. So we're going to quickly look through the screens on the Garmin GPSMAP H1. Just apologise for a bit of reflection because we're under some trees. Really simple homepage. So again, you can see the various options. You can just tap on any of them. So if you want to see the map, you can just tap on the map and it brings up the map page, and that overlays where we are within the course that we are following. Again, just press the quit button. It takes you out of that. I've accidentally pressed the compass page. The compass page is showing us how long it is to the end of the walk, so we should get there at 2:45 this afternoon. And again, the electronic compass is working because we're stationary, and you can see it wants us to walk in that direction, which is correct. And when we don't, we get this big red band here, which again, for someone like myself who wears glasses, it's just nice. It's nice and easy to see when you've not got your specs on if you're out walking. Again, you can just press the quit button to go back to your main menu. We can see how far we've walked. That's your trip computer at the top, and then this magnifying glass here is how we can find our courses, etc. And this is our trip computer, how we started navigating both the course and also recording our activity at the start. If you want to go to the other menu, you can press this, which takes you to the main menu, where this is where you will send your messages from, SOS, from live weather. Again, the weather can be updated by the satellites, or alternatively by a mobile phone signal. The camera, again, this has got a couple of photos on it that we've taken since we've had the GPS unit, and you can send those photos via the satellites if you choose to. So if you have an incident or something like that, very, very useful for those situations as well. So again, there's lots there to go through. But the nice thing is they've uncluttered it by giving you this simple homepage, elevation data down at the bottom, so we can see what's ahead of us. You can keep using the quit button, so you can either use the touchscreen or the buttons down the bottom. So again, you've got a shortcut button on the side as well. So again, you can have that to mark a waypoint. You can select what you want. You can have a torch because it's got a torch on it as well. So you can select that, that switches the torch on. You can see the 8 megapixel camera. Not an amazing quality camera, but I think they've kept it quite small because again, when you send pictures via the satellites, it's going to use a fair bit of data. Also, just look at the back. We've got this new spine adapter on the back, which gives you new backpack tether, new accessories, which is absolutely brilliant. Because again, we had a few people with the previous backpack tether where it was they had a few issues with it. They've listened to people's feedback and they've updated it on this new GPS unit. SOS button sits under a flap, so you can't accidentally press it. You just lift it, metal flap, and then you can press the SOS button. You do need to hold down for a couple of seconds, and then you'll be managed from anywhere in the world. You'll be rescued from anywhere in the world. If you are going overseas, just be aware that you'll need to put your insurance details. But again, don't worry. When you get your unit, you access the online resource, and we show you in there where you put your insurance details there, and you can actually get insurance from Garmin if you are going off-grid overseas to utilise it. So it's a quick look around. Say sorry about the reflection on the screen. It's just where we are at the moment. We've been going an hour and 5 so long. We just walked just under 2 miles. So really nice, easy to use outdoor GPS unit from Garmin. So this unit had been with us just over a month now, and I've walked extensively with it. Actually, this time last weekend, I was down in the South Downs delivering a GPS training course to some of our customers, and I had 3 of them on that course with a GPSMAP H1, H1i Plus. Also, the previous Friday, I'd done a GPS in the Hills course also on the South Downs, and I used this unit all day. Nice thing about that day is it was pouring down with rain, it was misty, it was horrible, but the touchscreen still worked impeccably in those conditions. So I was really quite impressed. I was pleased to try it under some extreme conditions and see how I got on with it. Customers that we found on the course just got working with it like a duck to water. It was so simple for them to use. Again, the touchscreen, those integral parts like could put in grid references, creating waypoints on the screen, really nice. But then you've also got that ability to touch the screen to make the screen inactive. So if you're using it with gloves on in winter, you can use it as a true 4-season outdoor GPS unit. So we're just about to drop down and rise up and join the Wannie Line, which is the second railway line that we're going to be walking along today. So the Wannie Line was called the Wannie Line because it crosses the Wannies. I don't know if you can just see in the distance, see some wind turbines. It's quite hard to see, but right in the distance there's some wind turbines. That's the Wannies, which is the source of the River Wansbeck, and that's why the railway line was called what it was. These railway lines were put in place mainly to get the minerals out of the area. So there's a lot of lime in this area, a lot of quarries. We have what's called windstone, which is very hard stone, which runs right through the middle of the country. And Northumberland has a lot of these wind quarries. People don't know this middle section of Hayden's Wall, the Windsill. The National Park, we've got a visitor centre called the Windsill, and that's the rock that runs through the middle. And this very, very hard rock it is. People know Northumberland, Dunsby Castle, you see how the wind end is going out to the sea. There's a lot of quarries in this area, both limestone, both wind, and that's why these railways put in to extract that and get it into the coastal section of Northumberland, which is the more urban area of it. So there was also passenger trains as well. Also, a lot of these railway lines, both the Rothbury Branch Line and the Wannie Line, were put in place or were funded by local farmers, because what it did was it increased the value of their farms, because suddenly they could get livestock away, they could get wool away far quicker with that being a situation. I used to work on a farm called Green Leighton Farm, which near Rothbury Branch Line, and there's a story came that there's a neighbouring farm called Fallalees. And Fallalees Farm, people might know there was a famous sheepdog emigre who was a sheepdog trainer who's been on this farm in life or something on television. Anyway, she used to be a Fallalees. But anyway, before she was there, it was such a remote farm. There was the guy who was there used to bring his wool and leave it to a Green Leighton farm where I was. So he would do 3 runs a day of moving 3 bales a day of wool, leave them at our farm at Green Leighton, and then he would move on to the station. So it shows what an important part, pre-wagons, pre-lorries, these railway lines to get both food and resources into the farming and these quarries, and also to get the produce out. So we're just about to join the Wannie Line now, and we head our way back to Scott's Gap. So just on the map page here, this has got both 1 to 25k mapping, and then if I zoom out, it goes to 1 to 50k mapping. You see we've lost the field bands. It's amazing how bright this sun, sorry, how well the screen looks with bright sunshine on it, where more than likely a mobile phone, you won't be able to see very much. But again, these screens are made to work in bright sunshine. So you can see where we've walked out the blue line. We've still got what to do, the pink ahead of ourselves. And if we zoom in, we go to 1 to 25k mapping. Well, the nice thing about this unit is we have this map layer here. So again, what we can do is switch off the Northern England Isle of Man maps, go back to there, and this is now the preloaded Topo active mapping. So this unit comes preloaded with Topo active mapping. So again, that's what that looks like. You can see where we've been. If we zoom in, you get a little bit more detail. Again, if I want to switch my Ordnance Survey map on again, I can just scroll down, switch my Northern England and Isle of Man back on again, and I get back to my Ordnance Survey 1 to 25k mapping. So we've not got far to go as we make our way there, but I thought I'd just show you the different mapping options. Again, when you're buying this unit from GPS Training, if you look, there's a drop down menu. It comes preloaded with a Topo active mapping, which is that basic mapping. Then you get the option to buy it with 1 to 50k mapping, and then 1 to 25k mapping, which gives you field boundaries, open access, permissive footpaths, which you don't get on the 1 to 50k mapping. But either Ordnance Survey mapping show you the rights of way. So that's just a quick look at the map page. We've just got about a mile to go before we hit Scott's Gap. And when we hit Scott's Gap, I'll show you how you can stop navigating your course and also save the record of your trip, which is traditionally called a track. But before we get there, I thought I'll quickly summarise my final thoughts on the Garmin GPSMAP H1i Plus. As I said earlier on, it's the top end, best 4-season outdoor GPS unit by Garmin. Again, with this extra technology of being able to send photos and voice memos, it does make it quite an expensive outdoor GPS unit to buy. So if you are wanting the best and budget's not a problem, it's certainly worth considering. I'm a big fan of it. I say I've walked with it for about a month now, and it's become my go-to GPS unit. I was previously a Garmin GPSMAP 67 user, but I've upgraded to the H1. I've not actually done one with 2-way satellite communication, but there's a reason for that. It's actually, I got given another product which has 2-way satellite communication with a contract free of charge, so I've been utilising that rather than pay a contract on there. I must mention the contracts. The contracts are very, very good with Garmin now. You have the ability to pause them and not pay anything for up to 12 months. And then they have a pay-as-you-go option where you can literally pay a few pounds per month, and then every time you send a message, it just costs a few pence or 50 pence to do. So we've got some really nice affordable packages on there. You don't have to be on, and then you don't have to be on the more expensive ones, but you can just swap. So again, if you're going overseas or you're walking a long distance trail and you want to use the tracking, now you can literally just swap up to a more expensive package for a month, then come back down to the $7.99, which is the current cheapest one, or alternatively stop it from there. I'll leave a link below here. We do have an InReach calculator with GPS Training, so if you are thinking of getting an InReach product, put your requirements into that InReach calculator, and it will give you the best package that you should go on, and give you the relevant links to the products that are available for that package. So have a look at InReach packages, have a chat with ourselves if you want to, but there's InReach calculator there to help you out. So lovely unit, I really like it. I love the flexibility of the touchscreen. I love how we can switch off and use the buttons in winter. I love the USB-C connection. I love how it's just simplified a lot of things. I keep saying this about it. Compared to some of the other GPS products that we sell, it's very, very simple. It's very intuitive. Garmin have been very bold with this unit and change things, which has upset some traditionalists who want the GPS unit to work the same way that their old ones were working. But I think Garmin have rightly made some bold steps, moved it forward, made it easier for you, the user, made it easier for ourselves who are teaching you guys how to use GPS units. So I was certainly worth considering. So we've got about another, just under a mile to go. Here's Scott's Gap. When we get there, I'll show you how we finish off a day's walking with this great unit from Garmin. So we've reached the end of the course and it says you have arrived. So it tells us that we've reached the end of that course. So what do we need to do? We need to just stop navigation, which stops us navigating that course. But you can see we've lost that pink line on the map page now, and we've just got the blue line, which is the breadcrumb trail our GPS is leaving behind us. So again, if I just come back to the main page, we're still recording the track down the bottom. So I just tap on there and we're going for 3 hours, 19 minutes, press on stop at the top. And it says, right, we've done 6.68 miles, 3 hours and 19 minutes. And we can we can do various things, but we're just going to save that track. Asks us what colour we would like to save the track. So again, I'll just leave it as default, and it's by default, it saves it as the time and the date. So again, we can amend that by tapping on that. We can amend that accordingly. So I'm just going to press the done again, and that exports the activity and saves it. And then we go back to where we were. So many thanks for joining me on this latest walk and talk with the Garmin GPSMAP H1. If we can help in any way at GPS Training, you're thinking about buying an outdoor GPS unit, please don't hesitate to get in touch and we can advise you accordingly. We have a very good form on our website, which I'll link to below, which you can put in your requirements of a GPS unit. We can give you a personalised GPS recommendation, and then we actually personally do that ourselves. We work through those step by step and give you various links to products and other walk and talks that might be meeting your requirements. So again, I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a really nice October day here as we've been walking what's called the Wannie Line Walk, which I'll also put a link in below to where you can find out more about that walk if you're interested. And as always, not only for myself but all the team here at GPS Training, many thanks for your continued support.